to Crimson 15 Podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin. If you're enjoying these long format reviews, be sure to like, sub, share, and hit that bell for notifications. And if you're extra awesome, you can join our Discord server, link in the description below. So we're up to episode 5 in She-Ra and the Princess of Power, and this episode is called Whiteout, and it's a snow episode. So the pun isn't funny or just weird. It could have been called anything else. You can call it Snowball. But I didn't hate this episode, but I didn't like it either. If you like Scorpia and Catra shipping, you'll love this episode. But I have found that pairing to be weird because it came out of nowhere. From season 1 to season 2, it just looked like, oh, Scorpia is just a older sister character, maybe even kind of like the den mother of the group. Now she's straight up 1000% in love with Catra she wants to physically be with her. I think it's a little creepy because Scorpia is a woman and Catra is a girl. That's weird. And they play it up as like, oh, she wants to be your friend, but no, she wants her like in an intimate way. So that's, if you're into that, then I guess you're going to love this episode. But overall, it's a kind of a fun adventure. There's some action, but there's all the pieces that make up to the action. It just doesn't pan out. It's so weird because I want to like it. It's just, there's too much little dumb things that just keep it from being cool. We open up and we're in this snowy area, and look how cool this looks. Look how much detail is in the background. You can even see like the little hole that's being drilled out that they drew all the details and stuff. It seems to me that a lot of these background establishing shots must be done by completely different people that do the rest of the art, because this actually looks pretty damn good. If you would have told me this was something from Last Airbender, I'd be like, oh, maybe it is. It looks pretty good. But the rest of the art doesn't match this. I wish everything looked this good. It would help the show immensely. But we see a Horde flag. It's like, oh, I guess the Horde must be doing something here. And we see Entrapta, and she's just being a weirdo, spinning around doing her science stuff. And everyone's wearing winter gear, and I think all their winter gear looks really, really cool. Everyone, except for Bo's, is really simple. This kind of reminds me of when action figures made from cartoons, and they would always have like, oh, you can get the battle armor, winter armor. Oh, get the flying armor, like so they can sell another toy. But there are no toys except for the 2 that they released that didn't ever get to the general public. But this looks like something they would do just to sell, another set of toys. But I guess they're looking for something, and Catra is cold because obviously she's a cat. She doesn't like the cold. And she's like, oh, hurry up, finish up this work. We got to get things done. We go outside and we see like this big, it's an Alaskan bullworm. Alaskan bullworm! This giant monster looking thing that's very simple looking, and it's odd to see such a simple looking creature up against a very detailed background. It's kind of odd. And remember when I said where's Seahawk? And boy, God, do we get Seahawk. He's all up in this episode. And for everything that Seahawk is, let's just take a moment of silence and a little bit of praise for, look at that pimp coat. It is straight up full, fur pimp man coat. It's amazing. I want one of these jackets. You got to be a man of high confidence to wear a jacket like this. It's straight up fur coat. And it's weird because I feel bad for Seahawk. He's a moron, but everything he's going through kind of makes sense. So they're going to the north because, I don't know, plot, because they're there and somehow they found out they were there too. And he's like lamenting about Mermista. Oh, she canceled her plans. She went to go hang out with her friends, but she didn't invite me. I'm like, that's so screwed up. Mermista, like I said from the very beginning, and I apologize, but there's no other better word to describe it. Mermista is 1000% a bitch in this season. She treats Adora like crap. She treats Glimmer and Bo. She treats everyone like garbage, and not like in a funny, playful way, just like in a superior, I'm better than you kind of way. And I guess she's doing it to Seahawk too. I'm assuming they're dating, but I guess Mermista doesn't want anyone else to know that they're dating. That makes a guy feel like crap. Ladies out there, young women, don't do that. If you like a guy, just go out with them or whatever. Don't like hide them from people because you think, oh, they're embarrassing. Yeah, he's kind of loud and brash, but you obviously like him. And he's like, yeah, she doesn't invite me around her friends. Does she think I'm not cool? And that's the unrolling gag. Am I cool? Like, he asks everybody. He even asks the bad guys when he fights them. And And he's like, oh, I'm glad you guys asked me to go along in this adventure. And even She-Ra's like, we only asked you because you have a boat. It's like, wow, you couldn't at least say, oh, you're a good part of the team. Then no, they straight up just tell him, no, if you didn't have a boat, we wouldn't have invited you. It's dump on Seahawk. And then Glimmer's talking to him and everything, but he makes these funny eyes for no reason. Like, why does he have these beady little eyes? It's super weird. We get back to that little base that they have, and here's all the shipping. It's nonstop. Scorpia Catra shipping. What is that ship called? I don't check out the fandoms. I was like Scorpicat. Like again, they always come up with these dumb names for these things. But she's trying to psych herself up to like ask Catra out on a date. I'm like, oh, this is so awkward. And it's weird because obviously you're physically and emotionally attracted to Catra, but she's like almost playing it up like, oh, we can be best friends, but they're already kind of friends. So like, what is she pursuing here? She's like, hey, Catra, what's going on? You know, I was kind of wondering if we could like hang out sometime. And she's like, what are you talking about? We were in the horde together. We're always hanging out. But she's like, oh, you know, I mean, like after hours. So they clock out and go home? Like I just assumed they're in the horde, and you're just, when you join this military, this army, it's a 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year situation. You don't get like leave and like get to go home. But she's like, oh, we can like hang out. She's like being awkward because she's like super embarrassed to be around her, or nervous to be around her, excuse me. And it's so weird. And she's all, you know, it could be like board games or not board games. It could be anything. And it's like, yeah, I bet there's a couple of things you want to do. She's like stumbling over some boxes and knocks out this, that little thing that poisoned Adora in the first season. She sees it, and Entraptor's like, well, be careful with that. That thing, last time I tried to experiment with it, it made all my robots go crazy. And it made Adora, you know, it depowered her. She's like, oh, and Cat's like, great, we can use this weapon to our advantage. And that's when they get the signal that all their digger robots have gone missing. Like they've been shut down all at the same time. So either it was an accident or a cave-in, something. So they have to go figure out what that is. We cut back to She-Ra and her crew, and it's just Seahawk being a dummy about like, oh, am I not cool enough? And why won't you let me hang out with their friends? And it just goes on and on and on and on. Bo picks up a signal where where that base is operating. I guess they picked up the first one's tech, and Seahawk, he's just being loud and big eyes, and he's always screaming, and whatever feelings I have for Seahawk, like I feel sorry for him. I always remember, oh yeah, there's a reason why everyone hates you. Dude, you're super irritating. Tone it down a bit. More people will like you. Get back to Catra, Scorpia, and Entrapta. They get to I guess where that hole is, where it's being dug out, and they're looking down there, and boom, She-Ra and her crew show up. It's like, what? They found them that fast? And Adora is so stupid. She, in the last episode, the episode where they're coming up with all the plans, she's like, Catra's going to separate me from you guys. So then they're going to pick you off one at a time. You got to work together as a team. And what does Adora do? She chases after Catra and separates herself from the team. You freaking idiot. You admitted that that's what was going to happen. Then when the actual game plan comes to play, you freaking do the exact thing you weren't supposed to do. And Catra knows it. She just takes off. She knows Adora's going to chase after her because she's a big dummy. Seahawk has like a weird lightsaber thing, but it doesn't cut through anything. It just glows. Okay, I don't remember that from season 1, so I guess it's just a new item he picked up. Everyone else starts fighting. It's an okay fight. And like I said, how Seahawk is constantly, oh, am I cool enough? He's even asking Scorpia, hey, you know, what do you think? Do you think I'm cool enough? And they're like locked in battle. And even Scorpia's like, oh, you got potential. What the hell? Like, why break up something that could be a cool fight with silliness? Like, you don't need to do that. You can just have a cool fight. It's fine. No one's going to get mad at you. Bo's chasing after her in Trapta, and he doesn't want to hurt her, but he's like trying to explain to her, look at everything you're doing. You're causing so much pain. You're ripping up the planet. You're working for the bad guys. Like he's trying to reason with her, but I don't think there is reasoning within Trapta. I don't think she'll ever care. If there's some type of scientific advancement or experiment she can run, she'll just do it. Like even at the cost of people's lives. You're not a good person, Entrapta. You're very, you have no value of life, and that just makes you a bad guy. Get to Adora and Catra, and Catra's just easily dodging her and everything. Adora gets her wrapped up in a rope, pulls her forward, and she has the sword, and she's like, oh, don't move. What a cool looking shot right here. This angle looks great. The sword, it's intimidating. It's just, I wish there was more shots like this and not silly looking shots like we'll see later on with Bo. There's some art that's just horrific, but this looks great. This could be a wallpaper. You put this on a t-shirt. It could be a poster. It looks great. She has a sword pointed at Catra, and just like in the simulations, Catra's like, you don't got the guts. You'll never hurt me. I know you're not going to do it. And of course, She-Ra doesn't because she can't fight the enemy. She can't kill her. I know she probably didn't want to just run a sword through her throat there, but just knock her out. Turn your sword into a club or something bad. I don't know what you're never going to win this war. Because Catra's always going to use this against you every single time. And just like Loki's corruption thing, she touches the sword to corrupt it. And what I thought should have happened the first time, she just goes like berserker, like freaking Q guts. She's going berserker rage here. And she just starts smashing everything. She's fighting everything in a way. It kind of reminds me of Broly a little bit, where if you're in front of her, she's gonna fight you. So she's fighting Glimmer, she's fighting Catra. It's everyone. Here's the thing: Glimmer's teleporting all around and all over the place to dodge. Just do what Goku and Vegeta did in the Super Broly movie. Just bring She-Ra to Catra. Here you go. You deal with this and just teleport out of there because she's gonna just fight whoever. Bo tries to wrap her up, but she's so strong she just tears out of it. And I kind of like crazy She-Ra. She's awesome. She has like these really cool faces she makes of like just like angry, and she's gonna kill people. It'd have been great if she ended up killing someone, but that's never gonna happen. She ends up knocking all her friends off a cliff because she hits the ground and it causes like a little earthquake. And then Catra's like, this is so cool, but then she sees them and like, oh, I'm gonna fight these people. And she's getting pretty damn close to killing Catra. Catra is doing her best to dodge and move and use her agility, but this is no holding back She-Ra. And she's straight up Loki, Incredible Hulk, grabs her by the leg, starts smashing her around a little bit. It should have been about 4 or 5 times, but it was only like twice. But that's totally, it's from the Avengers. And Catra's almost down for the count, and you get crazy face She-Ra, and she's gonna strike her down. That'd have been so awesome. But then Scorpio runs up there and tackles her, and I guess once she got separated from the sword, then she powered down. And I'm guessing that's what made the difference in the first time. The sword just got corrupted, but if she was holding the sword as it was corrupted, it made her evil. I'm thinking that's how it works. But Adora passes out, and then Catra has the sword. I'm like, oh, and she's like, oh, I'm going to bring you back to the fright zone. And then you got that creepy hold up your face while I talk to you. That's so pervy. It's just something, I never liked that. It's like this whole domineering thing that just makes me uncomfortable. We get back to the Feel Good crew minus She-Ra, and they're just climbing, and they're trying to get out of this hole. And they bring up the teleport thing again. She has a finite number of teleports. That's why they can't get out of this hole. That's the problem when you give a character like a superpower that's super useful. You always have to make up reasons why they can't use it. That sucks, and that's stupid. So maybe don't give her the teleport powers. It's always like, I ran out. She's always running out. But in that first episode of season 2, she's teleporting everywhere. And she'll even teleport for meaningless things. Like she won't even walk across the room to get a cup of water. She'll teleport. That's how lazy she is. But if you know you can only do so many, why are you wasting it on the dumbest stuff possible? We get back to Catra, and they have Adora. She's just passed out on the ground. And Catra's like, oh man, I can't wait to use this against you. I can basically make your evil, She-Ra. But here's the thing. What were they going to do? Like, have her tied up, give her the sword, make her go crazy, and push her out of the back of a truck. It would be hard to implement this because then how do you recapture her? Once she goes berserk and she's destroying everything, I guess if you just dropped her on Bright Moon and then she would just destroy, all living things that are there, it would be hard to implement this plan. But Catcher's just loving it. She's like, oh, I can't wait till she doesn't use the word kill. She says like destroy. I wonder which one of your friends I'm going to have you destroy first. And does he feel a little bad for Scorpia, even though it's perverted? She's a complete pervert for Catra. She feels bad because she's like, oh, yeah, you have Adora again. And she can tell what Catra and Adora have, Scorpia and Catra will never have. It will never be that. It can be a relationship, whatever, but it will never be the way that it is with Adora. And, she's going to have to come to terms with that. Some alarms start going off, and Catra's like, I'm going to go check it out. There must be something going down. We get to Seahawk again, and he's always talking about, am I not cool enough? It's a running gag. It's really dumb. He falls off the cliff, and Bo saves him with one of his ropes. Wouldn't it have been great if it would have around his throat and just ended up hanging him? And he's singing his song about being cool and everything, and it's like, whatever. While Catra was gone, Scorpio was supposed to be watching Adora. Adora took off, and we get drunk but not drunk Adora. I've never liked that. It happens in a lot of shows where the character is loopy and weird and wow, you got a big face, like just saying weird, stupid things. I don't like that drunken character, and Adora is this drunk Adora from now to the end of the episode. She attacks Scorpio with a mop, and it doesn't do anything. Scorpio just grabs her, and she's like trying to open the door, and she doesn't remember the password. Adora starts hitting buttons, boop, 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 like she's literally making those noises and being silly, and Scorpio can't get a hold of her. She's like squirming all over the place, and this goes on and on and on.
Stop that. Okay, wait, I'm pretty sure it was... Don't...
It could have been kind of funny a little bit, but it's a never-ending onslaught of, I'm silly. Adora gets the door open, and she's like, oh, I just used Catra's favorite number. And then Scorpio's like, oh yeah, you know her favorite number and I don't. You're just throwing it in my face. It's exactly what she's doing, Scorpio. She knows you got the hots for her, and she's just throwing it in your face. I know you're stupid, but you can't be that stupid. Apparently, the base is being attacked by the Alaskan bullworms.
Alaskan bullworm!
And it's like destroying everything, and they go right back into the storage room because they're not going to be able to fight that freaking giant thing. More drunkenness, her just jumping around and, ooh, you're like a big bug lady, and I don't like it. Get back to outside. Glimmer, Bo, Seahawk get back to the base, and they see the giant Alaskan bullworm.
Alaskan bullworm!
And they're running away from it. It's trying to kill him. And we get kind of a cool look. It's very Star Wars Hoth look, or Seahawk goes into that room with Scorpio and Adora. He's like standing in the door, and he's like in shadow and everything. He actually looks kind of cool right there. Then he confronts Scorpio, and he's like, I'm taking Adora back. No, you're not. And they're literally having a tug of war with her. Scorpio is really strong. When it pulls her arm off, how great would that have been? We get to Catra is like trying to figure out why the alarms are going off. The power starts going out. She runs back to the room with Entrapta, and she's like, oh, we're being attacked by these giant creatures. I guess the drilling, and it caused the wake up of these things. What a great turn of development. Yes, Entrapta, you're all going to die. How wonderful is that? The Alaskan bullworm is attacking Bo and Glimmer. It's weird. See, I don't know when Seahawk got into that room. He just abandoned Glimmer and Bo, but Glimmer and Bo are by themselves out here, and they're like, I hope you have one more teleport. She teleports in the room with Catra and Entrapta, and it's like, oh, they're right behind you. And we get straight up Looney Tunes. This is something I would have seen in the Flintstones. He shoots one of his sticky arrows, and it hits Entrapta, and it wraps her up, and it's super like a puff of cloud. You would see like an old Tom and Jerry. It's so weird how weird it looks. And again, look at how horrible Bo looks here. He's like 3 feet tall. Compared that to the shot of She-Ra when she had her sword pointed at Catra. It's like it's two damn different shows. Consistency. I would love there to be some consistency. We could get back to the tug of war match over Adora, and they're like pulling on each other, and then they start talking about, I'm going to do this for Catra. I do so much for her, but she doesn't see me the same way she sees Adora, and she won't ever like me. And Seahawk's like, I understand how you feel. And then have like a weird heart to heart. I don't know. I hate this, and I kind of like it at the same time. I hate it because the context of a battle trying to save Adora, there's a giant worm killing people, but I kind of like the fact that she's being honest with herself, and how that Seahawk can understand her honesty. I just wish it wasn't in this situation. I wish it was in another show with other things. And then, of course, it's a big sad face. I understand how you feel. We get to Catra. She has the sword, and she's talking crap to Glimmer. Bo's always trying to talk entrapped out of what she's doing, and he's trying to talk sense into her. You freaking idiot! You're gonna get everyone killed. And she's like, "Oh no, this thing can't. That virus can't have affected them because unless they're first one's tech. And I guess these bullworms are actual machines and not, or maybe they're techno-organic. They never really explain it." Then we have a nice little heart to heart with Scorpia and Seahawk, where they're talking about their failings in their relationships. How Seahawk likes Mermista, likes hanging out with her, but she doesn't like inviting him out with her friends. And he feels like, well, is she embarrassed of me? Am I not cool enough for her? She only likes being with me when we're alone. So that makes anyone feel like crap. And he even says, it's like people only invite me along when they need rides and they need stuff from me. Yeah, tell me about it, buddy. Scorpio's like, I understand. And I do so much for Catra, and I'm always here for her, and she never accepts anything I do. I'm never good enough for her. And I'm like, okay. Again, I like it, but I hate it in this show. I would like this in something else, just not in a battle, not in if this would have been something like, let me make up in a scenario. He gets captured and he's in a prison cell, and they end up talking, and they kind of become friends that way because there's no urgency. There's a big giant monster potentially killing your friends right now. This can wait for another time. Drunk Adora's like, you guys are like my favorite people ever. Like, you're a good person. You're a good person. And my goodness, like, you're really pointy. I don't like drunk people. They always cause problems. They kind of like are like happy with themselves. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter if people don't think I'm cool. I know I'm cool. And it's like, hooray for you, Seahawk. But yeah, you kind of are a little bit of a dummy. So they kind of like find like self-worth in this little like conversation they have. But you guys are enemies. You're going to end up fighting. Glimmer and Catra start talking. She's like, where's that virus thing? Because we got to destroy it because it's making these worms go crazy. It's going to end up killing everybody. So we got to get rid of it. But of course, Catra doesn't want to get rid of it because it's her tool to control She-Ra. And I can only imagine the things she would try to make her do if she had full control over her. The bullworm breaks in. Scorpia, Seahawk, and Adora all start like, it's like they're on a team together. They, they're going to go fight this thing. Scorpia goes to save Catra. Are you okay and everything? And then Glimmer and Catra start fighting. Bo starts shooting arrows. And then we kind of have like a little battle here. Adora's attacking with her stupid mop. She tries to get the sword. Scorpia stops her. They keep fighting. And it all just boils down to they're not going to be able to fight this thing without getting rid of the virus thing. More combat, more action. We got a funny scene of the worm trying to eat Catra. She drops the virus, first one's tech, and Scorpia gets it, and Glimmer's like, you got to destroy it. If you want to save Catra, you got to do it. And Catra's like, no, don't do it. Whatever. Even if this thing kills me, you can't kill. We have She-Ra. We can control her. It's the greatest weapon ever. And then she calls her Wildcat. Like she gave her like a little nickname. It's so creepy because she's so young and she's so old.
Sorry, Wildcat.
This is for your own good.
No!
She breaks it and then the bullworm goes back to being nice. What if that didn't work? What if breaking it just broke it and it didn't reverse anything. How did they know that was going to work? The bullworms go home because they're not angry anymore. And Scorpia picks up her buddies, Catra and Atrapta, starts to run out of the room. And then Catra's like, what are you doing? We're still out of fight. And then she looks up at her. And then she gets kind of like that, ooh, kind of look in her face. Like, but is she surprised at the horrible shading going on here? Or is she like looking at her in a brand new light?
Hey, put me down!
Oh, it's so pervy and weird. Oh God, why couldn't it have been any other character that didn't seem like she's so much older than everyone? They escape, and they're like, oh, we failed. And Catra's like, my God, what are we gonna tell Hordak? He's gonna tear my arms off. He's gonna get my legs broke. But Entrapta's like, haha, during that battle, I found this first one's tech thing. And they never really explain how she did it because she was all tied up. Like with Bo's little, I don't know, put her like in a gummy mattress. She found this giant disc that's against a power source. And she's like, oh, I found it a while ago, but we were having so much fun, I didn't want to say anything. Huh? Whatever, she wheels it into the room, and I guess they're going to use that to power Hordak's experiments. Catra's sitting there in a blanket, and Scorpia's all like shivering, she's cold. Okay, let's share a blanket. And then she like puts her head on her, like rests her head on her. She's so much bigger than she is. And then the look on Catra's face is the look on my face, like, oh God. And then she's like, when I said hang out on board games, it doesn't have to be board games. Yeah, I bet, Scorpia, I bet it doesn't have to be board games. I can only imagine what kind of things you want to do with Catra. And that's the end of the episode. I don't know. This shipping stuff, it's just out of place. It's not out of place in an action adventure show, but it's always out of place in the context of what's happening in the episode itself. If this was some type of like day off and there was no battles and then she was trying to hang out with Catra, I think that would be a better approach. It's still creepy, it's still weird, but it wouldn't be during a fight. It wouldn't be during a battle. It would be better. It's not saying you can't have romance and this shipping stuff in an action show. You just got to do it better. You just got to implement it better. It doesn't have to always be in between the action. Seahawk, I feel bad for him, but I don't feel bad for him because you bring it on yourself, bro. You got to take it back a couple notches. But then, has he expressed these feelings to Mermista? Hey, Mermista, are we going out or do we it's always on your terms? And you got to go back and forth. I know it's not a show about relationships, but that would be nice for him to stand up for himself just because like your girlfriend says, no, don't you have a right in this relationship too. It's 50-50. Plot wise, I guess they got that power source. I guess that's nice. I like the costumes. Best episode in this so far, episode 5 out of the 4. I guess, but I don't know. That's like coming in first place in a kindergarten race. What are we even talking about here? So the least worst, I'll just say that. It's not the best episode. It's the least worst episode. We got 2 more. Hopefully something exciting happens. There's been a lot of news. People have been sharing stuff with me on Twitter about there's going to be more seasons. There's going to be comic books. There's going to be more merchandise. There's like t-shirts and everything. So I was wrong. I have to admit it. I said, hey, if this show's so popular, where's all the merch? So I guess the merch is coming. There's some, the shirts look okay. They're not, they're nothing special. But I will probably be reviewing those comic books. There's like little kid novels. I might skip those, but I like comic books. So stay tuned for the next episode, and hopefully something cool happens. If not, we'll have more of this. See you guys next time. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.